Andersen.
It's been nearly 4 years since we completed the manual swap on our old silver C55 that you guys know and love just as much as I. And we liked it so much, we decided to do it all over again. So today, you guys are starting the journey with me of the 3-part series on the Mars Red C55 manual swap. Good thing for me is, it's already done. Hope you guys enjoy. Stay tuned. Quick interruption, guys. If you want a chance to support the channel and I have a collection piece of the Mars Red C55, I released some new designs you guys can pick up at andersen.co. Anything you buy helps out the channel and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Alright, you guys, welcome to likely episode 1 here of our second time manual swapping a C55. You ready for the journey? So step 1 today is getting the automatic out. I've already pulled the valve body and seeing that the trans is done for, so we're way past that. Picked up the manual, got our Kangaroos team swap kit, so I'm going to get this thing jacked up. We got to jack it up normally on jack stands, get the drive shaft out so we can spin it to get it unbolted, and then once we have all that stuff cleared out, we can get it up on the race ramps, which gives us a lot of room to be able to maneuver under there and get the automatic out. So I will show you guys as much as possible, probably on the GoPro a lot, not talking to you, but showing what's going on, and I'll narrate if need be. Alright guys, the GoPro is of course acting up, but we're just tackling all the little jobs, get it started. Got a bunch of stuff unbuttoned down below. I just hooked up the battery and set the car into neutral using a screwdriver on the little, what's called safety release prong. I can show you guys real quick if you're not familiar. So it lives down there, hard to see, sorry, but there's just a spot that you press and it allows the shifter to move even without the key or anything in. But I just put the key in just to double check where it was gonna go. But underneath we got, oi, let's get the flex disc bolts out right now. Put the trans pan back on just so when we lower it, it can have something to sit on. And we have the engine jacked up right now so that we can get to all the bolts and don't have to fight around that on the transmission. We're gonna see, we can't remember, I don't think we dropped the exhaust on the silver C55, but we can't remember for sure. I know we took some of the heat shielding off, but we're gonna see if we can get the drive shaft out without dropping the lower section of the exhaust off. So check back in a bit. Alright guys, I think this thing's working. Give you a quick sneak peek underneath. So we were trying to remember why we took both heat shields off last time, and it's because what we did is we unbolted the carrier bearing bracket just to let the drive shaft hang down a little bit, which will give us enough angle. Maybe we got enough as is. Close. Think it can go, or should we unbolt it? Oh, there we go. Alright, so didn't need to do that, but at least it gives us visuals, I guess, of what's going on back here. But yeah, front half of the drive shaft is out, which means we officially can put the car on race ramps. But here's what the underneath looks like, guys. There's 2 heat shields that live here normally. There's a shifter right there. There's a bracket that Mike just took off that, depending on what we do for shifter setup, we might reuse. And besides that, T55s and 18 millimeters for the nuts on the Guibos or flex disc. We've unplugged the O2 sensors and just took off a lot of little bracketry and stuff, so all the little stuff out of the way. almost time to get it on the race ramps. Huh?
That little kit. There. There. Fixed.
Jeez.
Fixed it.
Alright guys, well that's the recipe for lifting up on race ramps. Alright guys, like you just heard in the GoPro, we just got it up on the race ramps. I think these are 16-inch ones. Give plenty of clearance for us with the experience last time, so pretty cool. It's just a bit sketchy getting up on it. Not really, but you just got to be careful, obviously. Used a bunch of pieces of wood to give our jack a little more leverage than it does have, and now we're on to bell housing bolts. And I think that, yeah, bell housing bolts, the cooler lines, and a few other little odds and ends, but should be good. Alright guys, and for time's sake, it's 12:45 right now. We probably started around 11:45, so we're an hour in. I'm going to try to keep track of our overall time spent working, just out of curiosity. It's Sunday today, October 22nd, 12:45, so we've been at it for an hour, maybe a little more. And I'll keep track as we go. Alright guys, now getting all this stuff out of the way. We have a lot of access to all the bolts. I'm going to move up top here in a second. Mike's working down here. I'm going to try to get the top 2 or 3 that you can get once I take off the MAF and the elbow on the engine. It's easier to get up there, so I'm going to head up on that side, but here's where we're at. They're all inverted Torx bolts. I think they're like E12s or E14s, and yeah, that's where we're sitting. Alright guys, another piece just showed up. This is the Willwood clutch reservoir I'm going to be using. Used this on the E420, I was really happy with it. I have tried both styles. We tapped into the brake reservoir on the C55, but the E420 I liked it better because when you're bleeding the clutch, I don't know, it's just a little easier to have them separated for me. So we have mostly all the pieces we need. The last thing we'll have to figure out is a drive shaft. The pedals are going to come out of the coupe because I have a set of W201 pedals that are going to go in the 190, so we should be situated with mostly everything besides drive shaft and making a decision on shifter. But I have the stock assemblies if I want to run those, or we can weld to this rod and run a BMW shifter setup, but we'll get to that in a later episode, I'm sure. So for now, I'm going to keep plugging away at this, try to get this 722.6 out of there. Alright, I've been taking off the MAF and the bell elbow on the back of the intake manifold. Weird, the back of the computer right here, you guys can see this, but back of the computer are a little chip on the MAF. This plate was popped up, just a plastic cover, but kind of weird. So maybe something I'll have to dig into later if it doesn't run right, but fingers crossed. Alright guys, I've been plugging away. We got all kinds of Armageddon of bolts and everything down here. I'm trying to keep it organized as I can. Some of it we won't need, but the stuff that I know we will need, I'm just keeping it somewhat tidy for now. I just got the second bolt up top cracked. Should be able to spin that off now. That's what holds the transmission dipstick on, and then that will be able to slide down. And I think all the other bolts on the bell housing are off, so once I get this last set, then be able to start lowering it down and separate the transmission, which might take a little bit of finagling, coursing with flat blade or pry bar or something. So I'll get the GoPro for that. Alright guys, time is this now? 1:35, 50 minutes later, and we are getting very close to dropping the trans down. We got one more bolt up left at the top. I think Mike took a few bolts he didn't need to on the bottom, so he's just putting those back real quick, and get ready to pry this thing off the engine. Don't forget guys, you need to take off the bolts for the starter ring, which you do through the P-core right here, and just spin the starter ring either at the crank if you want to, or just with a flat blade. I think that's what we did last time, so
and get to it.
Yeah, I don't know what we were doing last time, but we did, we did something creative. Oh, there we go. You see it spinning.
Just spinning it on the torque converter. Hopefully it doesn't mess it up too much.
So you see it spinning, and there's 6 bolts total you got to get out of the starter ring. And then we're going to reuse that starter ring as well, which I'll show you guys later. But we'll end up using some nylock nuts and bolts to secure it before we put it back in. Yeah, it was just being held in by that last bolt. Alright guys, that last one back there is a pain. I just gotta be patient. It goes through the dipstick for the transmission right there, and the other one is right there, which is already out. So those top 2 definitely do from up here. Bit of a reach, but still easier than trying to get them down low. So, and try to get them while the car is still on the ground, maybe, because that makes it harder when I'm trying to stand on a stool. But almost there. Alright guys, I don't know how much I just got. I think this was on photo mode, but we were just gonna lower the trans down and realized we got one more bolt we didn't get. Alright guys, don't know what you just saw, but just broke the last one free, so I'm gonna go lower the trans down and see if it'll pop free now.
Ready?
Yeah. Whoa.
Okay.
Got it? Oh, hold on.
Yeah. What?
No, I'm just saying it was just getting close to the front of the jack. You already undid the shift lever, right?
Yeah, it's, hold on, let's see, it's hanging up on something over here. Probably that dipstick too. Maybe not.
Careful,
It's tipping down. Yeah, hold on. It might be easier just to pull it.
it should pop out. It's just an O-ring holding it in.
No, it's got a bolt.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, it's got a bolt holding it on.
You want to try to square the trans up a little better on the jack? I'm holding on to my tray now.
No, that's not gonna work. There we go. Okay, just leave it hanging up there for a sec. Give me a sec here.
There we go. Oh boy.
That little hook can get you. Okay.
Oh boy.
We didn't need that in there. Okay, down.
Oh my god. That was like pulling the cloth off a table and keeping it. What the heck? Oh, that's gonna hit the.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We have to slide her
I'll
out.
slide it off the jack here.
Or go forward. Yeah. It's okay. It's not. You're just gonna scratch up the pan, unless you care.
No, I don't care about that, but.
Okay. You're rip it out from under the hood. Pull it. Okay. Okay. That thing looks awfully clean.
Lofty what?
Awfully clean.
Clean. Like inside or?
Almost seems like it's been out of here before, but
Yeah, I wonder. Alright guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that entertainment right there. A little hasty there at the end, but here she is. It should be, I mean, it has the same part numbers as the CLK out there, so it should be the same, but it could be a different one. But I don't know, we'll see. Let's pull this out and inspect a little bit. What's the look like? Dry? Or no, that's leaking too.
Yeah.
The rear main seal, so yeah, guys will probably be doing the rear main and maybe the timing cover seal right there. Looks like it could be leaking as well. So yeah, that silicone looks.
Well, just it was wet up above this too.
Uh-huh.
You know, a lot of it up here. See,
I have a
like
new
on that
rear
bolt
main
there?
seal somewhere. I gotta order another one. Yeah. Yeah, well that timing plate right there is also a thing that can leak, so. Last time we got lucky and mine was bone dry, but maybe this time we'll have to do it.
Yeah.
So, add it to the list. There it is, guys. A big open tunnel now. Next will be getting the shifter out, getting the pedals out, undoing this thing. These are only held in by those rivets right there, so that's why you take this off and then you put the bolts in with the nylock nuts so that the starter ring doesn't come apart and do whatever it'll do. Just rattle inside and not work anymore.
Yeah.
So
A lot of oil flung up.
yeah, it's definitely caked in oil under everywhere, guys.
These over here and locks at.
I forgot, guys, we have the starter ring lock tool. It's at my parents' house. You just slide it in, it sits into the teeth of the starter ring and then doesn't let it move while you're undoing the bolts. Otherwise you'll be fighting those unless you have a impact that'll zip them off quick without spinning it too much, but we'll grab that next time. That'll be on episode 2 most likely, guys. But yeah, good job, thank you. It's funny, I was thinking about doing this all week by myself, you guys, and now thinking about doing this by myself, I would have been,
You could
maybe would have got there, but I would have been crying and screaming along the way. So having a helping hand is a good thing. Alright guys, closing out episode 1 here. We were just diving into the automatic a little bit. The torque converter is bone dry, which is like, just tells the story of when this happened, whatever happened to it. It dumped all the fluid. And normally, last time we took this out, there was a ton of fluid still in mine, in the C55, and even right now we expected some fluid to be in there, but there was 0. And the seal doesn't look bad here. I expected one of these seals to be blown out, but it's actually like fairly dry inside of here. So I don't know what happened to this thing, to be honest, guys. Probably something failed internally and I don't know, started spewing fluid out somehow, but you guys let me know if you have any ideas. Alright guys, and for documentation purposes, we've been chatting for like almost half an hour, but I think we finished, let's just say 2:15. So we started at 11:45 and went till 2:15 today. So got a good little chunk in, but not bad. Getting to this point and not rushing by any means. We're not trying to set a world record, but I'm just, again, out of curiosity, seeing how long this takes. But we just sat here and talked about this thing for a while. We're looking over all the numbers on it. It does look like it is in fact the stock or original transmission based on the codes that we're finding on it. But don't really know what happened. But the plan is I'm basically going to tear this one down. I want to learn how to rebuild the 722.6s so I can beef this one up and keep it as a spare for the C55, which is sitting outside now. But yeah, we at least made some great progress right now. I got the automatic out, which is a huge win. Have it that much closer, and I'm gonna start kind of picking and piecing together what parts we'll need and what we're gonna do with shifter, all those type of little things that will need to be done. The coupe that I need the pedals out of, I'm debating right now. I might end up ordering another set of pedals because there's a chance we're gonna need to move that thing around, and I don't want to rip the pedals out of it and then, I don't know, end up needing to move it or something. So we can push it, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll touch base with my partners on this one. I know Mike and Aaron are probably gonna be the ones to help me with that. So yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this. This is episode 1 in the books. Automatic is out, that much closer to becoming a 6-speed Mars Red C55, which is awesome. But stay tuned, be on the lookout for more episodes. Definitely hope you guys follow along, and catch you guys on the next one. Peace.